Alright gang, welcome back to our Triple Threat Challenge here in Hutan Pantai. It's June and it's another rainy day here on Hutan Pantai, and as we have been doing for almost every episode in the recent memory, we are starting off with taking some product here to the temple itself. Now we are only taking wood this time. We have plenty of cement bags in the roof for now, so we're not going to worry about those for a little while until it chews through a little bit more of that. So I can kind of show you what we're looking at right now. So currently we've got 44,000 bags of cement in there, 29,000 roof plates, but the wood beams and the planks long were what we really needed. So I went ahead and brought those over here. If you remember in the last episode, we stopped the production of just regular planks. We have a pallet of plank just sitting there waiting to be accepted, but it's not currently consuming planks, so there's no reason for us to continue to make those with the wood we have remaining. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. As you can see in the right-hand corner, my goal for today is to do a couple of contracts. Specifically, we're going to do a hoeing contract and a bale wrapping contract. As you recall, we do have a lot of bale wrapping paper, whatever you want to call it, foil, wrap, whatever you want to call it, that we're just kind of not utilizing anymore based off the changes we made, right? So I didn't really want to sell it and lose the potential profit we can make on that, so anytime a bale contract comes up and we don't have a ton to do, as is the case today, we will be doing those baling contracts until we're able to chew through most, if not all of it. So we got one of those. It's not a very big field, so it really won't take up a whole lot, but nonetheless, we will be doing that today. And we'll do that hoeing contract, which actually is the field that's right next to us. Unfortunately, if you recall in the last episode I was talking about, well, we're going to wait and see what the neighbor decides to put in there. He decided to put in sugar beet, which we will not be doing on this series. Easy, Byron. Easy, buddy. So we will not be buying that field, at least not right now. Maybe later on, but we're not going to buy it right now since there's sugar beet in it. There's really no reason for us to do that. It would require us to spend a lot more money just to be able to harvest that, so we're going to let it slide. But we will do the hoeing contract on it, which will help us out, with a little bit of extra income. Now, we have $150,000 right now, and as we continue to make more and more pallets of wood, we will be able to continue to build up this amount of money, which will get us to, hopefully, the point of being able to buy the green bean harvester. That's really the next goal. The next top-tier goal, I should say, is to buy the green bean harvester. $500,000. Not cheap. Maybe we get lucky. Haven't really got lucky yet, but maybe we get lucky and it gets out in the used market. A used one comes out in the used market for us to purchase. That would be tremendous, but the odds are not in our favor on that one. I never get lucky in the used market, so. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and do the hoeing contract since it's right next to us. We might as well do so. Actually, I'm sorry, the hoeing contract is not right next to us. For some reason, I thought it said Field 3. It says Field 34. My mistake there, gang. I apologize. It is not Field 3. It's 34. I think 34 is the one near one of the newest field that we purchased, I think. It is 34. I apologize. I was talking about this field. This field did get sugar beet put in it, though. I did not mistake that statement. I just mistook the statement of where the hoeing contract was. I just looked at that wrong. I apologize. So we're going to head over there, do that one, and then we'll come back and get the bale wrapper and do the bale wrapping contract. And on the way over here, we'll take a look and see if any more wood pallets have produced. I doubt it, but possibly one or two. Go ahead, Scarlett. Go ahead. Thank you. We also are going to attempt to try to get a lot more of that wood off the hill today. Maybe we get all of it. We did get a lot in the last episode, but it was way more than I expected there to be. So there are still some trees for us to chop down. But there's plenty of wood in there for right now. I think there's like 35,000 liters of wood in there at current. So, I mean, it's going to be chewing through that for a couple of episodes at a minimum. As we always do, we'll take a little shortcut here. Neighbor doesn't mind. There's nothing in there, but we did grass anyway. No other pallets have spawned yet, so kind of expected for the most part, right? Now, that's the bale wrapping contract we're going to do. I believe it's this one right here. You can already see the bales are sitting there waiting to be picked up. Now, it's square bales, right? Now, the baler that we have should, if not, I'll have to cancel it, but I'm pretty sure it can do both square and round bales. Let me verify that before we move forward here. If it'll tell me in here, I might have to go into the actual sell point menu. It can. Okay, so we're good. Thought so, but it was worth just doing a double check. Now, we don't have any fields today that are ready to harvest, unfortunately, and that's just due to the design of the fact that I put canola in a lot of them. But that's all right. I think 1 or maybe even 2 will be ready in the next episode, so that'll be some quite a yield there for us. Now we're going to figure something to do with the silo. We've talked about that already, right? Speaking of the silo, I don't think there's anything specifically in there for us to sell right now. I'm going the wrong way. So we've got the canola in there. Again, not till November, so no, we're not selling that. Long grain rice might be today. No, it's September. Although the best average price is 2,073. If we go to the train, we can get 2,076 and it's dropping. So maybe we will sell that today. Maybe we will sell that today. What's in the used market today? Anything for us? No, nothing. Nothing at all. Just some trailers. And I just ran into a bish. Thank you. All right, Walter, go ahead, buddy. I'll let that one slide. That was my fault. So I'll let that one slide, the fact that you wanted to speed past me like that, bud. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. As I mentioned, it is a rainy day here in Hutan Pantai, and it's going to be a rainy day for the entirety of the episode, more than likely. It's not going to stop raining until around 3 o'clock, I think. A lot of recently new traffic to the channel, so if you are new here, welcome. I appreciate you stopping by. If you haven't done so, subscribe for me. Helps me out a ton. If you want to become a member, there's a link in the description down below. You get access to videos like this one early, among a number of other things like a members-only series that happens once a month. Speaking of members, I want to just do a quick shout-out to my 13 members. Thank you so much for your continued support. I really, truly appreciate it. And we should be coming up here. Yep, it's this field right up here. This is the one, I think I mentioned this maybe in the last episode. If it wasn't, it was a recent episode, where I thought this is the one that we had to purchase at the beginning when we started, right? When we had to use the randomizer and it was selecting fields for us that we had to track down and mark down. Mistakenly, I thought it was this one, and I had to go back and look at the note that I made in the folder for this series, where I do all the, you know, where I have all the raw footage of the episodes, and then I edit them out, right? I made a note in there just so I didn't forget what it was that was chosen. Well, I just screenshotted the randomizer, I guess is what I should say. What I popped up on the screen in the very first episode of this series. I had to go back there and look at it. Now, we recently put the Survive 25 series on pause. I had talked about that at the beginning, that it was not going to run for the entirety until the next FarmingSimulator game comes out, but it's just a brief pause. There may be a period of time where one episode for that series just pops up randomly. We haven't done one in, let's say, like 2 or 3 months, and all of a sudden, boom, there's one, but I'll let you know whenever it actually gets started back up again on a consistent basis. And it's not that I don't enjoy that series. I'm having fun on that series, but it's good just to take breaks every once in a while, right? And then we can come back to it later. Our opinions might change. Our thoughts on how we want to do things might change, and it gives us the opportunity to, you know, try to get some other series going as well, right? That's a series that's going to last for forever, so there's really no rush for us to be able to try to get everything done as fast as possible, because if that's the case, then we're going to be done really early, and we're just going to be going through the motions trying to wait until we get to FarmingSimulator, the next FarmingSimulator iteration of the next game, right? So based on that alone, I think it's a good idea. It makes sense, and I think everybody else is already doing it. I think I was one of the last ones too. Taking a little bit of a break, right? Or they're at least slowing down the amount that are coming out, right? And what I mean by that is the amount of videos that are being released, right? They're slowing it down a little bit. I know Northern Farm Sim, I think, has been on a break already for a significant period of time. We got some good ideas coming out here soon, gang. This series, we're going to try to pump this series out and get it done here in the next couple of months. we're pretty close. The only thing really that's kind of keeping us from probably finishing it in the next couple of months is the temple, but we've talked about that enough. But if you're new here and you just stumbled across this, the optional objective is for us to finish the temple. We got a little bit of a late start on it, but we do have a lot, as you saw at the beginning of this episode, in the temple already, waiting for it to be able to be accepted or start to be utilized. So when the time comes and we've got this field to the left right here, drilled with some green beans, and then we're able to harvest it, and then the other field on the way up here by that bale, where all the trees are, where the bale wrapping contract is. Whenever both of those have green beans put in them, and we're able to harvest them both one time, that accomplishes the final 3 triple threat challenge objectives. But there's some bonus objectives which we've already accomplished. One of those was to incorporate a new crop type, which we have the long grain rice that we've been doing since the beginning. The green beans are also new, so we're going to be knocking out 2 of them. And then the other one was to do the temple. Now, we should have started on the temple a lot sooner, and one of my members, Tony, was asking about it, and he was rightfully so. I should have started it probably, I don't know, 2 months ago, but we didn't. For whatever reason, we really didn't have a whole lot of wood or anything like that, and I said many times that I wanted to at least have some of the temple utilizing some of our own product, right? And so those trees that we're knocking down from the field, that would be considered some of our own product. Now, all of it is clearly not going to be the case. We're not making cement, we're not making roof plates, but at least some of it we can say was built from our own product, which it's really the main goal there. So when the time comes and we've got everything done, and the temple's the only thing remaining, I'm fully going to allow us to be able to go ahead and skip months, which we don't normally do on this series, right? We normally just stay in whatever the month it is, then we move to the next month and do the next thing. But when it's just the temple remaining and there's nothing else left, I'm fully on board with allowing us to deposit stuff to the temple, skip to the next month, deposit stuff, skip to the next month in the same episode, right? As a matter of fact, we'll probably just finish all of the temple in the same episode, more than likely, right? There's really no reason to record me going month to month to month to month, just, adding the same thing over and over and over again, trying to wait for the temple to be done. Really, what we'd probably do is get all the resources over there, as many as it can accept, right, that it needs, and then we can just skip until the month where the temple could be completed. So this is the field I was talking about right here. We have some hail damage in there. You can see it in the distance there. Hail happened overnight, and it was happening a little bit in the last episode, right? But we have all those trees up on that side of that hill that we still have to take down, and that's what we're utilizing to help us. Okay. All right, Alfred and Byron just tag teaming. Okay. But those trees on the side of the hill, before we're so rudely interrupted, are what we're trying to utilize to help us with the temple, right? All right, we are here. There's not too many bales to do here, gang. This is a small amount. I've never seen it do the baling with the square bales, so that's kind of cool. Spins them around like that, right? It's pretty cool. Went ahead and did a little bit of service to the baler as well. We're going to sell it anyway, so we need to do some service to it. I need to wash off the tractor here. It is pretty dirty, as you can see, so we will try to take care of that when we get back here. Try to make it look a little bit better. Probably the same thing with the baler too, although the baler doesn't look nearly as bad as the tractor does. But nonetheless, let's get to work here. It won't take us too long to get this knocked out. I don't know, maybe a minute and a half time lapse, if not less. Let's go ahead and get it done. We'll see where we're at. Alright, I decided just to throw in the first part of doing all the mowing and everything else into that time-lapse, because that time-lapse was significantly less than I actually anticipated it to be. I thought it was going to be a lot longer than what it wasn't, so why not throw in a little bit of the grass mowing with it as well, especially since the fact that for a lot of the series here lately, we've been doing a lot of grass mowing anyway, so we might as well just go ahead and knock that out. Not too bad, though. This is it's going to be good, man. It's going to be a good amount of grass we're going to get out of this, which will turn into silage. We probably need to put a tiny, tiny bit here into the goat pen here. They're not going to need much, but we probably should put a little bit in there because they have finally chewed through the last remaining bit of bale that we had, right? And we've got a lot still to windrow up here over in this main section, but we kind of got the outskirt done here. Well, it's not really, I guess, the headland, really, in this instance. It's kind of an awkward setup, but you get what I mean. The headland-ish, it's already been completed. And this is going to go directly into the silage, the silo there. I did not want to turn that on a worker. That was an accident. But this is going to go directly into that silo, turn it into silage, and then in the next episode we should be able to sell it for a decent profit, right? As we have been doing on a consistent basis here. $150,000 right now in the bank based off of what we sold from as far as the wood goes to the tipple, which is good. If we continue to do that, we should easily be able to get to that $500,000 here in the next couple of episodes. And then it's just a matter of making sure we get a drill that can do green beans. Now, I'm not positive what drill we need, if I'm honest with you, for the green beans. I don't know if it's a planter or if it's just a regular drill, or I don't know what it is. I need to look at that. So let's look at that here in just a second here. Once we get a little bit more of a straighter path here, we'll try to pull up the menu here. All right, let's pull the menu up. It's planters. It's kind of what I thought it was. I thought it was planters. Now, we're going to need a relatively decent-sized planter. It does not need to be massive by any means, but it's going to be... We want something... We don't want 4 meters, right? We want something a little bit bigger than that. It's going to take a while to do a 4-meter drilling, right? So we'll find something. But, yeah, we're going to have to spend another $100,000 or around that. That's what it looks like on the planter. So we're looking at $600-ish thousand to accomplish the third and final threat objective. So it's going to be probably a handful of episodes before we get there. Probably when we start harvesting the canola fields, whenever it's best time to sell those, which is going to be like 5-6 episodes from now, right? That's probably when we're really going to be able to get there. the November, December, January range. I think canola's in November. So when that happens, that's going to make us some big money. Now, we are going to sell, I've decided we are going to sell the long grain rice that we currently have in the silo. We are going to sell that today. We're going to go take it to the train and sell it. Now, it is dropping to the train, so we probably should do that pretty much now. But we're going to get the rest of the grass field done here first before we do that. All right, let's go ahead and wash these the tractor here and the windrower. They're pretty daggone dirty, as you can see, so it'll be nice to get these guys a wash. Now, speaking of all the rain in here that's been going on here in the game all day today, very similarly, I live in southern Ohio. I've mentioned that before, near the Cincinnati, Dayton, all that area, if you know where that is at all. Anyway, the Ohio River is supposed to, I think, tomorrow, it's supposed to crest 60 feet, which is major flooding level, so it's been pretty heavily raining where I'm at as well, so it's just par for the course that it's raining in the game as well, right? For the last 2 weeks, pretty much, we've only had, I think, a day, maybe a day and a half where it has not been raining all day long. We've had some pretty severe storms as well, a couple tornado-ish storms. I think a couple minor tornadoes landed as well, but 80-plus mile-per-hour winds for a couple of those storms. So we've been dealing with a lot of rain over here. All right, that will work. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. We're going to jump back into the Challenger here. We're going to need the Challenger to pick up all the grass here off the ground, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to need to put some fertilizer down on this field as well once we're done here. I thought we were aimed the other way with the loading wagon or the forage wagon here, and we are not, so started going the wrong way there already. It's a good start there, Z. We want some silage additive, so let me go buy that really quick. We want that extra. No. Okay. Does it not? Maybe I can't buy silage additive from there. Can I not buy silage additive from there? Did we do this already? I feel like we did this in a recent episode, and now I've kind of forgot. We must have done this in a recent episode. It's not allowing me to put anything in there. That is weird. I swear that this silo allowed you to buy silage additive. I swear it did. Huh. Weird. We'll tell you what, I'm going to go to the shop. I want to get some silage additive. We really want some silage additive. We want to make some more money, and that will allow us to gain more out of the grass here we're picking up off the ground. So I'll be back here in a second. All right, we are underway here, gang, and cost about $2,500, $2,400, something like that. For the silage additive, there's still plenty up there at the shop. We're just going to have to run up there and make some trips up there because I did not go up there with the John Deere to pick it up with the forks, unfortunately. So, but that's okay. It's not that far away. It's not that big of a deal for us to run up there and pick that up, right? At least I don't think it is. Some of this grass over here is going to cause us issues. We already know that. It's just a little bit too close to the neighbor's field there. Is what it is. There's not a whole lot we can do about that one. Now, we still have to run over to our long grain rice fields, and we need to flood those. I have kind of forgot to do it up until this point, and that's normally why I start the episode with doing that. But I kind of forgot to do it today, so we're going to run over there and do that here in a second. Once we get over there with the forage wagon here, once we're in that area picking up the grass over there, we will stop and do that. So I found out I am definitely going, I've talked about this a couple of times, I'm definitely going to Toronto in early June for work. I'm also maybe going to a client for work somewhere towards early May, early to mid-May, somewhere around in there. So I've got some work trips coming up that are going to put a little bit of a damper on my ability to make and edit videos as well. So that's a little unfortunate, but We'll find a way through it. We always do. I've never really been to New Jersey. I've been there, the airport, but that's about it. So, we'll see. Maybe some of you have been to New Jersey. Let me know down below how it is. But I don't know how much time I'll actually have to explore or do anything while I'm there. But nonetheless, I am going there. So try to make the best of it, right? If I'm able to. I don't know if I'm going to be driving the car or, leasing or renting the car, whatever you want. Not leasing, renting the car or whatever you want. But if I am, then I will certainly attempt to try to drive around and explore a little bit. So if anybody is in that area or has ever been in that area and knows, let me know. I think it's more towards closer to the New York City area of New Jersey, wherever that is. I really don't know the area that well, so I can't really speak much more to it than that. But maybe somebody who's watching this has an idea. Okay, we are almost full here. One little splash and dash, as I normally like to call it, but it's not really a splash in this instance. But you get the point, and we'll be full. All right, let's go dump this. The rain is starting to slow down, it looks like. So we actually are going to get an episode here without some of the rain. I thought it was going to be raining the entire time, but I guess we're getting far along here in the episode. But we still got quite a few things still we want to accomplish here today. Let's see. How are the goats doing? They only have 701 liters of food left, so we definitely need to dump some food in here. We will do that. The next pickup we get, we're going to dump some in there for them. I don't know how much they're actually going to be able to hold. Probably not much. At least I wouldn't think much. Let's run over here and do a little bit of the flooding of... I think it's just that field. I think this field doesn't need to be flooded anymore. I think what's going to happen to us, which we don't really have, withering or anything on, so it doesn't really matter that much, but I think what's going to happen to us is everything's going to be ready to harvest at the same time. There was some hail damage in here as well. Oh, man, we got some major hail damage. Let me do a bird's eye view here. How much hail damage did we actually incur here? A lot. Hail damage there. Man, that sucks. And a tiny, tiny bit right here, it looks like. Oof. Well, that sucks. That's going to cause us to lose quite a bit of money there, huh? Damn. Not what I was looking forward to or hoping for, I guess I should say. Alright, flooding that one. Again, I don't think this one needs flooded because it's at clearly another stage over this one. I think it's pretty much going to be ready to harvest in the next episode. If not the next episode, it'll certainly be the following one. But we'll double check and make sure that my statement is correct. I know it's correct, but we're going to double check it anyway. Yep. Right, this is an awkward spot to be in here, Z. We need to get a different angle here. Gonna have to line it up here and then kind of back up is what I'm gonna have to do there. That kind of went out a lot further than, and when I say that, when I'm talking about the grass swath here, it went out a little bit further than we really wanted it to, right? Not really room for us to turn around and pick it up from where we were. So I'm gonna take what's in here right here. I don't think it's gonna accept all of it. And I say it, I'm talking about the goat pin here. I don't think it's gonna accept all of it, but we're gonna dump whatever we can dump from this into there. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I thought it would accept around 1,000, which is about what it did. Alright, let me knock the rest of this out here, gang. It's not going to take us long, and then we can put the fertilizer down. We can go sell the long grain rice. Well, whatever we can of the long grain rice. I don't think we're going to be able to take a whole... We're going to have to do a couple trailer loads, I think. Actually, now that I said that, I'm rethinking that statement. I think I might have just stated that incorrectly. For some reason, I thought we had like 20-something thousand in there, but we might... I think we have 17. No, we have 29. It is 2 trips. 2 trips for sure. All right, let's get this done, and then I will meet you once we're on the final trip, taking it to the train yard. All right, I just finished doing all of the fertilizing here, so I have the worker already taking the first load up to the sell point. We actually decided to change tactic here. We're not going to go to the train because one of the other sell points, the one that's closest to us, actually has increased in price, and now it's really not even worth going to the train because it's going to cost us money to lease the train, right? Whereas this one does not. So less wear and tear, it's closer, and it's pretty much the exact same price. After you factor in the leasing amount, it's actually probably a little bit more to just sell it out right here. So this should be a decent amount of money, 19,600. We still have about another 9,000, 10,000 left in the silo they have to go pick up, but this should be decent. Get us close to 190, probably. 192, 115. That's fantastic, gang. 40 grand out of that. We're already almost to 200,000. We're going to be over 200,000 by the time we sell the rest of this long grain rice. So absolutely, once we have the canola, we should absolutely be able to get the harvester and the the planter, for the long grain rice. I mean, I can't talk all of a sudden. We'll be able to get the harvester and the planter for the green beans. There we go. Finally got it. All right, this is the last bit of the long grain rice here, gang. So, probably $5,000 to $8,000 right here. Oh, I was wrong. 20 grand out of that. That's fantastic. $212,634, gang. I also sprayed down the trailer here, as you can tell. It was pretty daggone dirty, so it really needed to be sprayed. So took the power wash to it. Cleaned it up as well, makes it look a lot nicer. 212 grand. So, ooh, there's a new mower that came out. Probably not really what we need though right now. So as far as, let's see, we got to find the harvester here. I probably went too far. I had to go too far. Here we go. Here we go. Green bean harvester, $498,500. So $500,000. Let's just call it as what it is. $500,000. Plus another 100,000. We need 600,000, which is what I said early on in the episode. We're at 200,000. We don't have a loan to pay off anymore, so there's not going to be any interest we're going to incur overnight. Didn't get to getting the rest of the trees down on the hill, but that's okay. We can do that off camera, or we can get to it in another episode. Not a big deal. As I showed you earlier, there is plenty of wood in the sawmill. It is not going to chew through all that between now and the next episode. We're going to leave it at this point. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button and the subscribe button for me if you've not done so already. Both of those things help me out absolutely more than you can possibly imagine. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, or ideas, let me know down below. I'm happy to get back to you on those. We're getting there, gang. Slowly but surely, we are getting there. We are making major progress. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.